Prison blues. Luke Burbank tells us it's a popular brand of blue jeans, not without its fans or critics.
Jeremiah Maurer loves his job working as a supervisor in a garment factory.
What I do is I go through and I look at the seams. I'm looking for flaws like that.
Yeah. This one will have to go back to the line.
Yes, this one only goes back one step, and then always remember safety first, always cut away from yourself.
But there's one thing about Maurer's work-life balance that's probably different from yours. Both his work and his life take place right here at the Eastern Oregon Correctional Institution in Pendleton, Oregon.
It's very normalizing. I come to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I mean, in several instances, it's not even like I'm in prison. My days go by fast, my weeks go by fast.
Maurer and his co-workers make the clothes for all 12,000 or so prisoners in the Oregon system, as well as a brand of denim sold on the outside known as Prison Blues. It's sold in stores, on the web, and has become popular in, of all places, Japan.
My first impression of the product was that it's really tough. It's made as workwear, and its toughness is really appealing.
You might be surprised to learn all prisoners in Oregon, like many other states, are required to work while incarcerated. Most of those jobs keep institutions running, things like janitorial work and kitchen duty. And in Oregon, those jobs are paid with points that prisoners can redeem at the commissary. But the jobs with Prison Blues, which is run by an agency called Oregon Corrections Enterprises, those jobs are voluntary. They're highly sought after, and they're paid in actual money.
Have you been able to save some money through this?
I have, yes. There are some people that live paycheck to paycheck, but I'm pretty simple as far as what my tastes are.
Chris Cipher is working an embroidery machine, which could pay him up to $400 a month. That is after the state takes its money for room and board and restitution for victims.
Is there a kind of a personal dignity thing about going to a job that just kind of changes your mentality in here?
Absolutely. If you don't have that money because you have a small job, a low-paying job like working in the scullery or other ones that don't pay very much, having to ask for money from the outside, it can break the heart sometimes.
That's right. Inside prison, you can save money or go broke, just like a lot of people do living on the outside. Then there are the 7 states, according to the ACLU, that don't pay prisoners at all for most jobs. And in those places, refusing to work can lead to loss of privileges or punishment, which critics say amounts to forced labor, labor that we on the outside benefit from.
If you go to a public university, you may be sitting on furniture, dorm furniture, produced by incarcerated people.
Jennifer Turner is a researcher at the American Civil Liberties Union.
If you are in law enforcement, you may be wearing a bulletproof vest or in a car that's been serviced by incarcerated people. And if you go to the supermarket, you may be buying milk that came from cows that were milked and raised by incarcerated people.
An AP investigation last year found that a lot of prison work, especially in states where it isn't paid, can be dangerous and demeaning, like picking cotton in the blistering sun or working in unsafe facilities with minimal training. According to Turner's research at the ACLU, incarcerated labor produces at least $2 billion worth of goods and at least $9 billion worth of services every year.
Because the supply chain is challenging to track, so much produced by incarcerated people ends up in our supermarkets, in our government buildings, and elsewhere, and we are buying these products and using those services without realizing it. The fruits of this labor is all around us, and we constantly benefit from it, but we don't know it.
Not to mention the impact on the labor market, where a prison crew, say fighting wildland fires in California, will always be earning less money than a group of non-incarcerated firefighters, driving wages down potentially.
It feels a lot of the times like we're being more treated as like free labor. I try to put that in perspective for some of the staff out here. Is like, well, what if you had to come here but not get paid?
Some might wonder how indentured servitude is still legal in the U.S. Well, because when slavery was outlawed by the 13th Amendment, a specific exemption was made for incarcerated people. The fact that some states don't even pay inmates at all strikes Jeff Adair, incarcerated at Eastern Oregon Correctional Institution, as unfair.
I don't see a negative from people working in prison. It's actually a good thing to teach people a skill. I mean, if you just sat around doing nothing, then you're not going to be very productive out there when you get out. But at the same rate, I feel that if it's going to be a job, they should be compensated just like anybody else. Doesn't matter where we're at, whether we're in here or out there. We're still people.
People like Theron Giles, who, when we met him, was about to use the money he'd earned working at Prison Blues to start building a life on the outside after spending most of his adulthood behind bars.
I was going down a self-destructive life. Me being here gave me a chance to reflect. This place could eat you up as well if you don't do the right thing, if you don't take the initiative to want to change. You got to want to change.
A changed person, he says, thanks in part to his work with Prison Blues, which he says is his first steady job he's ever had.
For me, just being in here, it was a different environment than me feeling that I'm incarcerated. It helped me to mold my skills and hone into a better person that I can be.
Spending time at Eastern Oregon Correctional Institution drove home one fact for us, and that is prisoners are people. Yes, people who've been convicted of committing crimes, to be certain, but also people who will very likely be released one day, and who, the research shows, will have a better chance of success if they've been able to mend their lives.